Going on, everyone? John Matrix here with another video for you guys. So looks like Dragon's Dogma has a big gameplay video that they showed off over here at the Tokyo Game Show that's going on right now. I'm pretty excited for this game. I've been looking for a good kind of tactical squad based RPG. I know Baldur's Gate 3 just came out, but I've decided to put that one kind of in the back burner and play it later, just because there's so many game releases coming out right now, and Baldur's Gate 3 is the type of game that looks like you could put, you know, a couple hundred hours into a single playthrough. So I'm kind of putting that on the back burner until all these other games have been released and I've been able to play through them, get some content down for them, and then I'm gonna go back and play that, and I'm very much looking forward to that. But I never played the first Dragon's Dogma game. It's one of those games that kind of just passed me by. But seeing the trailer for it, I think that came out over the summer at the Summer Games Fest, or I don't remember when it was. I don't know if it was last summer or last spring or something, but there was a trailer for when it was announced, and it looked good. I'm very interested in it. So without further ado, let's take a look at what they've got to show us here at the Tokyo Game Show. I guess it's a 9-minute gameplay deep dive of Dragon's Dogma 2 from the Tokyo Game Show. Check it out. The big bird. Is that a griffin? Big town, big open world settings here. We got Geralt. Legolas Geralt, you know? That's a big ass troll. Okay. Got some fire magic. Man throwing a giant barrel. Chimera. Griffin, yeah. I don't know what that is. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Hello everyone, I'm Hideaki Itsuno, the director of Dragon's Dogma 2.
Okay.
Dragon's Dogma 2 is a narrative-driven action RPG set in an immersive fantasy world designed to place player choice at the heart of the gameplay experience.
I'm down with that.
The action gameplay is designed to challenge your creativity, and although this is a single-player adventure, AI-controlled companions will accompany you throughout the experience.
Okay, so I think that's how the first one was. You know, I guess the closest thing that I could kind of compare it to would be maybe Mass Effect or Dragon Age for like AI controlled stuff. So the earlier like Dragon Age game, like the first Dragon Age game, they had a lot of AI settings for how you could like set up their behavior and how you wanted them to move and use their skills, and they wanted them to be more defensive, more aggressive. And as time's gone by, they've really kind of watered that down, I guess to say. So with them saying that there's going to be like basically AI controlled companions, you know, I'm wondering how that's going to be. If it's going to be like how Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is, where they're kind of AI controlled, but you can jump between them to do different things and set up different combos. And are they going to have different behavior like patterns and settings that you can set up to define how you want them to play? More defensive, more support, more aggressive, etc.
Today, I'd like to show you a little of what you can expect from the world of Dragon's Dogma 2 with this new gameplay footage. In Dragon's Dogma 2, up to 3 AI-controlled beings called pawns can join you on your adventures.
Okay.
Players can choose from 4 starting vocations that determine how they will play.
Yeah, typical fighter, mage, thief, archer.
Of course, you will be able to change your vocation at any time by visiting vocation
Okay,
guilds.
that's cool. So if you want to, you know, try a different class, if you're not digging a class that you started with, you want to try a different one, you can just switch it at any time. I like that. That's pretty cool. It's one of the things that is a problem with some of the, I guess, older RPG games, where it's like once you start down a path, you're stuck with it. And if you don't necessarily like it, you got to kind of start over. So that's cool.
For now, let's look at the fighter vocation. Wielding a one-handed sword and shield, the fighter excels in melee combat.
Okay, nice little block there.
As a fighter, you can cut down enemies with a sword and protect yourself and your party using your shield.
All right.
As we keep going, we can see some harpies in the distance.
Yep.
As an archer, you'll be better suited to
Got Legolas
take down
here.
enemies above you. Let's see what they can do. The
It
archer
looks like
is
they're
a
shooting
vocation
arrows.
that uses a bow and arrow to attack enemies from a distance. Make full use of your arsenal, including exploding or blighting arrows. You can also aim at your enemies like a third-person shooter. The monsters of Dragon's Dogma 2 behave organically in the world around them, and will even react to players by using their wits against you. Next, I would like to show you the mage in action. Mages excel at long-range magical attacks, as well as healing and support spells that bolster your party with various enchantments to give allies an advantage in battle.
So yeah, so mages can either be like long-range nukers or more support heal-based buffing characters, it seems like.
The more advanced and powerful the magic is, the longer the incantation will take.
Okay, that's cool. One of those friendly fire.
In addition to the pawns you adventure with, you will occasionally act with other inhabitants of the world.
What's this?
Watch this. What's this? They have a cave troll.
Lastly, let's take a look at the thief. As a thief, you use daggers to strike at your enemies, relying on
typical thief, typical rogue. Okay, man's going crazy with his ninja attacks there.
To quickly move away from enemies after an attack.
The thief looks pretty tight. I'm not gonna lie.
The thief against massive monsters is to find openings and cling on to the enemy to deal damage.
And just bashed his face in there.
Is always an option, but it's a good idea to utilize
the
the environment
busted up a dam
while engaging with enemies. Between your chosen vocation, diverse terrains, and the particular monster you're up against, each encounter challenges players and their party to use their creativity to succeed.
Oh Lord, that would be a little
Two
spoopy right there.
Prosper in the world of Dragon's Dogma 2. Vermund, the human kingdom, and Batal, the land of Beastren.
Beastren, huh?
In Vermund, the Arisen who slay the dragon have ruled as kings for generations. This land of lush meadows and rolling hills is ripe for exploration.
Okay. So, I mean, that sounds kind of like your typical fantasy world, you know? I guess the humans who've killed the dragons have the power of the dragons or something like that. So let's let them stay in power and etc. I'm assuming anyway.
In contrast, Batal is a rugged canyon nation with a city built on the site of ancient ruins. It is home to the Beastren and their unique culture. The nation of Batal offers players a different experience from the human kingdom, with diverse environments to explore and monsters to encounter.
So I wonder if you can have different starts in the game depending on maybe what race you pick. Maybe you pick a race that has to do with the Beastren area, you start there, and you know, it gives you different options and things as you play through the game. You know, versus if you pick a human, maybe you start in the other starting area. That could be interesting. If that is the case, I like things like that in games, so that, you know, not every playthrough is exactly the same. And one of the things with RPGs is the starting of an RPG is always kind of annoying. Like Skyrim, for example, dude. Like, oh my god, like you gotta go through the cart and deal with the dragon attack at Helgen, and then going down into whatever that little river town's called, and then making your way to Whiterun. Like, you gotta spend like an hour just getting through all that garbage just to actually start the game. Not to mention then, if you want to get, you know, your dragon breath, you gotta go through that whole quest of killing the first dragon and having the voices of Hrothgar or whatever summon you, and you gotta go up there. It's like, oh my god, dude, just let me get to the game and let me play it how I want. So I hope that's the the starting stuff in this gives you some more options to how you know, how the game opens, so it's not quite so monotonous every time you start a new gameplay.
In your adventures, you might come across people who call out to you.
Oh, have you some business with the apothecary, sir?
No.
Other times, you might receive quests from people who you aid.
Thank heavens. Thought I'd ne'er make it. If I might be so bold as to impose upon you again, would you be willing to accompany me to the cenotaph and safeguard me from harm?
Pawns with knowledge of a
So
quest
yeah, just
may
random
be able
quests.
to guide you to the right location, but it is up to the player to decide whether to follow them or not.
So yeah, just kind of like random dynamic quests that can happen in the open world. You know, there's plenty of other games that have already kind of done that, so I'd be eager to see like how the game handles that. Or is it going to be something that happens often where like a random NPC out in the world is just like, oh my god, you saved me, you can, you know, I'll give you some extra money if you help me do this, or, you know, whatever, and it's like the same quest over and over again but just like a different skinned NPC, you know? Because that's something that's happened in a lot of games, like even the Assassin's Creed games, I think, if I remember correctly, like in Valhalla and then Odyssey. A lot of times you'll run into just like different looking NPCs that ask you to do the same thing.
Pawns support you throughout your adventures and may come to your aid when you are in trouble. To complete your quests, you can ride ox carts to travel to major locations. But be aware, as you might get attacked on
What
route
is
to
that?
your destination and have to decide how to
Is
tackle
that a
the
werewolf or a
situation.
troll or something? What is that? That's a big boy.
During the ride, you can choose to close your eyes to quickly arrive at your destination.
Okay, so fast travel on the carts.
Time
Like a
is
nap,
ever
you know, and you're just
passing,
there.
even while riding an ox cart, and the environment around the player constantly changes.
I mean, that's typical nowadays, you know, most RPGs have day-night cycles and, you know, weather cycles and stuff like that, so, I mean, that's cool, you know, builds immersion.
Nighttime is especially dangerous.
Yeah, it's dark, brother, you can't even see what's happening right now.
With no light to illuminate your surroundings,
You say eliminate? I think obviously you meant illuminate, but it sounded like you said eliminate.
you will be enveloped in pitch black darkness where you can't even see.
Man, if you played, if anyone's played, the Conan Exile Survivor game, dude, reminded me of that, giving me PTSD of that. Like, nighttime in that game is dark, brother. You cannot see anything.
Your feet. Also, there are dangerous monsters that only appear at night, so you need to be careful when adventuring in the dark.
So it seems like it's got one of those situations where, yeah, at nighttime more dangerous enemies spawn, but if you go out and adventure out at nighttime, you probably have a better chance of getting better loot or more XP from killing a lot of these dangerous creatures, but, you know, a risk-reward element of the game.
If you have a camping kit, you can find a campsite to spend the night and recover your health.
Good evening,
Vegeta has wares.
Arisen. 'Tis the honor of my life to share your journey, Arisen.
To wrap up, I'd like to introduce some advanced vocations that become available as you progress in the story. The Mystic Spear Hand combines magic attacks and weapon-based physical attacks.
Okay.
A good all-rounder, they use their duo spear at close range and magic at long range.
That's pretty tight. I like that combat right there looks pretty interesting. So it looks like that might be like a battle mage kind of weapon setup. Duo spear at close range, you know, doing all the little twirls and yada yada, and then magic at long range. That could be fun. I like battle mage kind of archetypes. I just like having versatility of like ranged magic attacks while still being decent at melee, you know? Kind of, I guess, kind of like a Jedi or Sith kind of archetype, you know? Being good at melee and still being able to, like, you know, do things at range, like I just said.
They can also use magic to block an enemy's movement or throw multiple items at once.
Yeah, I like that. That'll probably be like a class that I would like.
Magic Archer is a vocation that further specializes in long-range attacks with magical arrows.
Okay,
On
that's
top
sick.
of healing and providing support to your allies, they can learn a skill that releases a powerful attack over a wide area in exchange for reducing their own maximum HP. And of
That's
course,
dope.
there are other unique vocations you can look forward to. We have a playable version of Dragon's Dogma 2 at the Tokyo Game Show Capcom booth. Depending on the choices they make, each player can experience very different playthroughs.
Seems like it.
We're very much looking forward to the impressions of those who get a chance to play. Dragon's Dogma 2 is being developed for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X,
We get a release
Xbox
date?
Series S, and Steam. Please stay tuned for more information. Thank you.
No release date, huh? So I assume that probably means next year. That's a thick dragon. Alright, well there you have it. Dragon's Dogma 2. It looked cool. I mean, you know, there's not much else to really say about it. I kind of gave my thoughts as we're going around. The vocation stuff at the end kind of has me intrigued as the, like, it almost looks like a multi-classing system. I don't know if that's something that's, you know, like in Dragon's Dogma 1, or if that's unique to this one. But, you know, I like that idea of, you know, the melee mage situation. The magic archer looked pretty cool too. So I'm interested to see how that system works, what you can do to combine different, you know, classes and archetypes together, and, you know, do kind of vocations, as they say, come up with. I'm also eager, like I said, to see how you're able to utilize the AI, the pawns, as they say, or are they strictly just AI? Do they have behavior settings so you can define how you want them to play? Are you able to swap to your pawns to during combat to set up certain combos and different things? You know, what kind of commands can you give them? Because like I said, I've never played the first Dragon's Dogma, so. But the game is very intriguing to me. It's definitely one I'm going to be watching. Doesn't have a release date, so I'm assuming probably sometime next year, either spring, summer, or end of year. So that's definitely one that's going to be going on my list here. So let me know what you guys think. You excited for the game? What do you guys think about the gameplay deep dive they showed here from the Tokyo Game Show? It's definitely, my hype meter's gone up a little bit more for it, for sure. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If you liked the video, you know, consider leaving a like and subscribe. If you're still here watching at the end, I really do appreciate you taking the time to check out the video to its fullest. And yeah, thanks very much for hanging out. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.